1 gram of this powder costs less than a text message. It is the most studied sports supplement in human history. And almost everything you have heard about is wrong. It does not wreck healthy kidneys. It almost certainly will not make you bald. And no, it will not make you smarter. But there is exactly one thing the European Union has officially authorized it to do. And almost nobody does it correctly. If you lift weights, sprint, or you're over 35 and want to keep the muscle you have, this is for you. In the next 10 minutes, we separate the proven from the marketing. What the evidence actually shows. What regulators refuse to sign off on. And the simple protocol that works. Quick note before we start. This is general educational information, not medical advice, and not a treatment claim. Talk to a professional before changing anything. To see why creatine works, forget muscles for a second. Think about money. Every explosive movement, a heavy rep, a sprint start, a jump, is paid for with one currency. It is called ATP. Here is the problem. Your muscle cells keep almost no ATP in the wallet. Enough for a few seconds of all-out effort, then it is empty. So the cell needs a way to refill the wallet fast. That is where creatine comes in. Stored in your muscles as creatine phosphate, it acts like an instant top-up. The moment ATP runs low, creatine hands over its phosphate and recharges the wallet in a fraction of a second. Your body already makes some creatine, and you get more from meat and fish. But most muscles are not fully stocked. Supplementing simply tops the reserve battery all the way up. More top-up means you can repeat that first explosive effort more times before the wallet empties. That is the entire mechanism. Not a hormone, not a stimulant, just a bigger backup battery for short, intense work. Start with the one claim regulators actually approved. Under EU law, creatine increases physical performance in successive bursts of short-term, high-intensity exercise. That is the exact authorized wording. The condition is 3 grams a day for adults doing high-intensity exercise. This is not a health guru talking. This is the strongest, most conservative statement the evidence allows. Across many controlled trials, the effect on repeated efforts under about 30 seconds is small, but real, roughly a few percent. Your last rep, your next sprint. That is where creatine earns its place. Does more repeated effort turn into more muscle? Here the evidence is genuinely strong on direction. In healthy adults who train with weights, a large and consistent body of research links creatine monohydrate to modestly greater gains in strength and lean body mass than training alone. Typically about 1 kilogram of extra lean mass over training by itself. Now the honest details. That number sits at the top of the range, and it is best shown in men and in older trainees. In broader groups, it is smaller, and in women the effect is often weaker. And part of that early gain is water pulled inside the muscle cell, not pure new tissue. This is general educational information, not a promise of a specific result. But which creatine and how much? The supplement industry sells you complexity. Hydrochloride, buffered, ethyl ester, each promising more. The research does not back that up. Creatine monohydrate is the most thoroughly studied and the most cost-effective form. Newer forms have not been shown in studies to be more effective, and ethyl ester may even be worse. So the cheapest option is also the best one. But first we deal with the 3 fears that stop people from ever starting. Myth 1. Creatine destroys your kidneys. In healthy adults, controlled studies to date have not found that creatine at commonly used doses impairs kidney function. Filtration rate stays stable. The small rise in blood creatinine on a test is just creatine breaking down normally, not kidney damage. Long-term data beyond 1 year are still limited. If you already have kidney disease or you are pregnant, speak to your doctor first. Myth 2. It makes you bald. This traces to a single 2009 study of 20 rugby players. It measures a short-term rise in the hormone DHT, which stayed in the normal range, and it never once measured hair. A 2025 randomized controlled trial that actually counted hair density found no difference between creatine and placebo. Current evidence does not support the hair loss claim. Myth 3. It bloats you. Any early weight gain is mostly water drawn into your muscle cells, not body fat. That is different from the puffy, under-the-skin bloating people fear, which controlled studies do not actually show. One more thing. Creatine is not a steroid. It is a natural energy compound found in meat and fish, not hormone. Which brings us to the most interesting claim of all, and the one where the science gets uncomfortable. You have probably heard that creatine makes you smarter. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The evidence that creatine improves everyday thinking or memory in well-rested, healthy adults is weak and inconsistent. Some trials report small gains. Most report none. And the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, has not authorized any cognitive claim for creatine at all. So where did the smart drug idea come from? Start with the biology. For muscle, 3 to 5 grams a day is enough. The brain is much harder to reach because creatine barely crosses the blood-brain barrier. In a 2024 study in the journal Scientific Reports, Gorjanijad and colleagues found that a single large dose, about 25 grams, briefly lifted brain energy and some measures of cognition, but only in adults who had been kept awake all night. That is why researchers are now testing much higher daily doses, near 10 grams, just to shift brain creatine at all. But this is early, single lab work in a sleep-deprived state, not everyday life. In well-rested, healthy people, the payoff stays unproven, and there is no approved cognitive claim. Sharing that honestly is why you can trust the rest of this video. So here is the protocol the evidence supports as general education, not personal advice. Use creatine monohydrate. There are 2 proven ways to take it. Option 1, the simple one, 3 to 5 grams a day, every day, starting now. Your muscles reach full stores in about 3 to 4 weeks, and it is gentle on the stomach. Option 2, the fast one, a loading phase, around 20 grams a day, split into 4 doses for 5 to 7 days, then drop to 3 to 5 grams. That fills the stores in about a week. Both end in the same place. Timing barely matters. Any time of day works. Taking it with some carbohydrate may help absorption slightly. 1 sheet powder, 1 small daily dose, one of the best evidence choices in all of sports nutrition. So creatine is settled. Cheap, safe for healthy people, and proven for one specific job. But that job depends on something most people also get wrong. How much protein you actually need to build the muscle in the first place. I broke down what the evidence says right there. Watch that next.